only girl.
And this is Ugo. So today we're going to dive into the topic about retirement.
Very important topic.
As immigrants, they say immigrants built this country, America, right? But who is building the immigrant? Are you ready?
That's a tough question.
It's a tough question because we need to build this immigrant.
We have to build ourselves.
Silent cry. The cry has been going on. The immigrants are crying. Retirement is a big topic. So when you talk about retirement, especially immigrants, we are like, is it even a thing? Because we did not invest, we did not think about it early, and this is something we all need to pinch ourselves and wake up.
Yeah.
It's a wake-up call. So imagine you worked 30, 40, 50 years in America, and still you're being afraid to retire.
Yeah, because I think the society has made it in a way whereby you're continuously paying bills even until you retire. You get to your 80s and 90s when
You're still paying.
When you can no longer pay bills. They take you to an assisted living, and your Medicaid kicks in, and all that stuff kicks in. So which means what you worked end up being still used to take care of you.
But the thing is that the retirement money, from what I've seen, is nothing. Trust me and you cannot survive on it. All right? A retirement amount, no matter what they pay you from social, let's say you're capped at the highest paid social security money, it's not enough.
But what people do right now is they go back home and then use the social security.
Okay, what if the person is sick? How do you go home?
That's where the problem comes in.
All right. You left behind your family back home. You left behind your home. You left behind your comfort, your friends, everybody, just to come and chase a better life.
Yeah.
And now you're older and you're tired, your body is weak. But because of how difficult things are, retirement seems like is a different kind of language, because you don't even want to hear it, because it feels like a luxury that you cannot afford.
Yeah.
So as an immigrant, what do you do? While others are busy planning, calculating bills, even so many of the immigrants find themselves borrowing from their 401k too.
That's right.
Which is their retirement, you know that, right?
Yes, very true.
And then you're stuck in paying back, and you're stuck in borrowing. Yesterday somebody was telling me something about the people that borrow money in the stores, that you can go and borrow money and pay your bill fast. They borrow it to you with your car whatever.
Yeah, like all this finance company.
And then you're stuck on paying that high interest. So imagine borrowing from your 401k to you're paying back with interest, right?
Yeah.
And you're also running around trying to pay bills. It's never enough.
Yeah.
You send money back home, you raise kids, you do all these expenses, you pay mortgage, rent, tax, insurance, and most times you don't retire prepared.
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough money to carry you through your retirement. Because retirement, you're supposed to not work. But as immigrants, we see ourselves is like we are pausing for the moment, and then you turn around, you see the person working again in Ross.
Yeah. You know, back home, retirement is kind of a little bit, I won't say easier, but it's already planned. You give birth to children, and they expect the children to take care of you. You understand? and then if your children cry upon themselves.
I didn't know that was where she was going.
and the children take it upon themselves to take care of grandma or grandpa, keep them in the house, and they live in a compound together, and they're good. But over here, it's totally different.
Back home, why it's different is because your house, you're building it, you own it.
You own it, yeah.
You don't pay taxes on the house again. You don't pay nothing.
Exactly.
And then your children, they always have the spirit of coming back to take care of your parents, because it's always a flex. Everybody want to during those days they are supposed to say, oh, his children is taking good care of him, they are taking care of their mother. So every child looks at society because they don't want to be seen as bad children, so they always take care of them. Yeah. But here it's not like that.
Here it's different. But I think the issue here is what is your expectation when you come in here as an immigrant? So your expectation has to change. You have to think like someone who is here and who needs to plan.
You have to think like an American
for the future. You understand?
America gives you opportunities,
but
they don't teach you how to build wealth, which is why we are here today to tell you that you have to learn how to build wealth. America don't teach you how to invest. They don't explain retirement to you early. People don't start discussing retirement because we just keep hustling on everyday life, but we forget that at retirement your body sometimes is not able to hustle like that.
But that's the reason why when you find yourself in a different Western culture, you have to see how they do their own things and how they plan their retirement. An average American probably has inheritance from their grandparents.
Yes.
Some even before they're born, they already have trust fund. They have family. Most Americans I know have a family home. So which means if one nephew or one niece something is homeless, there's a place to go somewhere.
And stay.
But I'm talking about
immigrants. Once your house is foreclosed or something happens to your home, next you see them under the bridge. Next you see them on the streets. Because we didn't plan, we didn't prepare. So that's why we have to normalize teaching our young ones now. Because when you're gone, you don't want your generation after you to suffer. You want to invest into them, the fact that they have to start planning early, the fact that they cannot be homeless.
Also, they also teach them in a very, very young age about financial literacy.
Yes.
And financial literacy kind of helps you know what to invest on, what is going to profit you. They teach them about entrepreneurship earlier than we learn about those things. As an immigrant, you're coming from a place of nothing. You're trying to survive. That survival rate might be in the next 10, 15, 20 years of your life.
30, 50 years.
So before you figure out the time to start investing, it might now become delayed because your age is not also on your standstill. So that's the challenge we have with immigrants, is trying to survive and not thinking about the future. I told someone, I think a family, I said, I'd rather have investments and have less money in the bank. You know why I said investment? Because that investment, I can sell it later. I can use it for something, or use it for maybe my retirement plan or my stuff. I might not have too much, but I might have investments. So those are the kind of education. You will see an average American will tell you that, you know what, I don't spend my money.
The other
I will get money from credit cards and pay back, or they have other ways of spending they don't really spend their own money itself. They are taught on how to manage their finances so that it works better for them.
The other day at work, I was surprised. Someone was there and we were talking, and the person said they are not doing 401k because they don't want to start it now. And I'm looking at this person, you're almost 50.
You need to leave that job.
And you're not doing 401k. So how do you plan to retire? So when I see things like that, we have to start now. Learn to invest. Learn to plan. Learn to work towards your retirement at any point in time. And so many so many of these kids we're having now, they start working early, so their social security is building for them. You have to also teach them how to start up their retirement plan. Exactly. One day you deserve to rest and not resting with fear. You deserve, as an immigrant in this country, you deserve to build and be successful in resting at your retirement and not running back to go and work.
But another issue is also knowing what retirement plan works for you. Not everybody is going to have a luxury of having a huge retirement plan. Okay, which one works for you? You and your partner, or you and your kids? If you don't have a partner, you plan with your kids. Okay, I need to downsize. Maybe when I'm getting to my 50s, I need to downsize. My house is big, and I probably have to sell it and come downwards so that I can pay off the house I'm living. Now, me and the kids, what can we do to save so that grandma or mom or dad has a place to stay. You have to plan. Sometimes you can't do retirement on your own.
Yes.
You have to plan with the kids.
You have to plan with your family.
If the kids are going to inherit something, they should be able to be responsible that, okay, mom's welfare is going to be taken care of. If mom wants to go back home, all right, I'm going to be able to manage her investments. I'm going to be able to allocate her to have 1 or 2 amount of money every month. She has the care she needs. She has all the aid she needs. She comes back here for her routine checkup. You have to plan what works for you. Some people might retire here, nice. Some people, their plan is to go back home. I've seen some other nationalities that do retirement well. Indians, the Spanish, or different nationalities. They plan together as a family. When you do it individually, it might be too much for you.
Yeah.
There's some people who have good retirement plan, but they're alone.
But the thing is that, let's say some people want to retire back home, and there is no plan, right? They just want to retire home and get the social security from here.
Most African men want to retire home. My dear.
Let me tell you, what if you're sick? You have to be on dialysis.
My dear.
What if you have a heart
I don't think
monitor?
they're thinking about that sometimes.
What if you have something going on? How do you retire successfully back home? Okay, now insecurity is ravaging our places, right? I've seen. Did you hear about the man that retired, went home, and the family members locked him in the house and were just collecting his social security? Your strength will fail you because you're not that strong anymore to fight back. People will take advantage of you. So we need to start now to invest, plan on how we're going to retire successfully, especially in a way that it will not be a burden for your children here.
Yes.
Neither is it going to be a stress for you or anybody. Like you retire like a king, honey. That's what I'm talking about.
So retirement is a very important topic that should be at the back of our minds
All the time.
Because old age is very sweet when you have a good retirement plan.
Yes.
I mean, you're going on vacation, my dear. My neighbors, honey, they're always going from one place to the other.
Honey.
They have their travel bus or van and everything. That is a good retirement plan. Your kids are somewhere because you already planned well. But no matter what it is, you have to plan with your family and with a good spouse or partner, and then work very hard when you're young. So that when you're old, you rest.
They told us to work hard, but they never told us to rest. So make sure you're planning your retirement well. Start now.
Hustle with sense.
This is Thinking Out Loud.